Welcome to Chapter 3, The Remarkable Body.
Secretions, Part 2, by Professor Tammy. Learning objectives. Summarize how the digestive system provides nutrients to the body tissues. The stomach. The stomach has three types of muscle: longitudinal, circular, and diagonal. The stomach contents are mixed using these three muscles. And these three muscles mix the stomach contents in the pyloric sphincter, which controls the release of chyme into the small intestine. The stomach mixes, digests, and stores food. Digestion in the stomach includes both mechanical and chemical. So it has an extensive mechanical digestion to mix food with gastric juice, and a chemical digestion of protein and fats. The gastric juice contains hydrochloric acid, HCl, to denature proteins and activate pepsin. So it changes the way the protein looks, both chemically and physically too. The intrinsic factors of protein critical to the absorption of vitamin B12. Pepsin is an enzyme to digest protein. And gastric lipase, remember you see the ASE is an enzyme. It's an enzyme to digest fat. So lipe, you think of fat, and ACE, you think of enzyme. Chyme is a semi-solid product of mechanical and chemical digestion in the stomach. The digestive system. See Figure 3-7, page 78 in your book to learn more about to better understand it. So, digestion breaks down food into nutrients, which can then be broken down further for energy. So it creates energy. The bolus is the mass of swallowed food. So to simplify that, it's like a small round mass of substance. So it's something that you chewed at the moment, especially has saliva in it too. So you see this picture, bolus of chewed food. And when you chew food in your mouth, you have saliva. After the bolus is digested in the stomach, the semi-liquid food that moves into the small intestine is called chyme. Digestion. Accessory organs surrounding the gastrointestinal tract, the GI tract, are several accessory organs, like the salivary glands, which you know is from the mouth. And the liver, it produces bile, which emulsifies fat. So bile is produced in the liver, and bile breaks down fat. The pancreas produces many digestive enzymes, and it produces bicarbonate to neutralize chyme, and the gallbladder stores bile. So you need to know this. Bile is produced in the liver and stored in the gallbladder. So let's just say you don't have a gallbladder. Can you still eat fatty foods? Yes, but not as quickly or not as much because your liver still produces bile. Isn't that really interesting stuff? Pancreatic juice and intestinal enzymes. They release through the ducts into the duodenum. The duodenum is the first of the three sections of the small intestine. Enzymes act on all three energy nutrients. Sodium bicarbonate neutralizes the acid chyme. Bile, again, is produced by the liver, is stored in the gallbladder, and releases into the duodenum. The emulsifier, which is the bile emulsifies and breaks down the fat, so it disperses the fat into watery solution, allowing enzyme access. Because if it's too big, the fat, it's hard to break down, so it's easier for it to be broken down already before it gets broken down more. Summary of digestive secretion and their major actions. This is also in table 3-3, page 83. Salivary glands. It targets the mouth. It secretes saliva. And what it does is the fluid eases swallowing. Salivary enzyme breaks down some carbohydrate. The gastric glands targets the stomach. and it secretes gastric juice. And what it does is the fluid mixed with bolus. Remember what bolus is? Is the food in your mouth and you chew and the saliva mixes the food in the saliva. That's bolus. And the hydrochloric acid uncoils protein. It breaks it down in the stomach. Enzyme break down proteins. Mucus protects stomach cells. Pancreas. It targets the small intestine. It secretes the pancreatic juice. Bicarbonate neutralizes acidic gastric juices. Pancreatic enzymes break down carbohydrates, fats, and protein. The liver targets the gallbladder. The secretion is bile. So just remember, bile is stored until it's needed. So it's produced by the liver and stored in the gallbladder. The gallbladder targets the small intestine and secretes bile. Bile emulsifies the fat. It breaks down the fat so the enzymes can have access to break it down. Intestinal glands targets the small intestine, which secretes the intestinal juice. Intestinal enzymes break down carbohydrate, fat, and protein fragments, like when it's smaller. And the mucus protects the intestinal walls. So just to also remind you, saliva and gastric juice also contains lipase. Remember, ASE is enzyme. So it breaks down fat. It has enzymes to break down fats. But most fat breakdown occurs in the small intestine, not in the mouth or the stomach. It occurs mostly in the small intestine.
See you soon. And remember to read the book.